On March 14, 2022, newspapers across the world ran a particular story about the Russian war in Ukraine. A woman whose name we don't know went to a local maternity hospital to deliver her baby. But in spite of the ceasefire, Russia bombed that maternity hospital in Mariupol. Doctors were trying to save the woman and the baby. It soon became apparent that the baby would not survive. So the mother told the doctors, "Please focus your attention on the baby and let me go." So they focused their attention on the baby, and the baby was delivered, but the baby was already dead. Then doctors turned their attention to the mother, and they tried for 30 minutes to resuscitate her, and she didn't make it. Kevin D. Williamson in the National Review on March 15, 2022, the next day, writes these words: "We are all Ukrainians now," says a headline over the Wall Street Journal column. The sentiment is a humane one, but it is a lie. We are not all Ukrainians now. Most of us are far removed from anything like that kind of danger or that kind of suffering. The worst we have felt is higher gasoline prices and more expensive groceries, but that's not the same. It's not easy to be brave, and it's not easy to suffer, but how much easier it must be to suffer oneself than to watch one's children suffer, to be cold and hungry, to die, blown to pieces in the womb before taking their first breath. How many Ukrainian mothers and fathers would happily and joyfully give their own lives if it meant that their children could have a decent dinner and a safe, warm place to sleep? That is, if they could have what my dogs have. Millions, I imagine. No, we are not all Ukrainians now. Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot truly identify with suffering when we are far removed from suffering. And that is why the account of Jesus is incredible. There is no other worldview in which God himself becomes a historical human. Jesus became exactly like one of us, and yet without sin. He took on humanity with his limitations and burdens. He had hunger, he had thirst, he cried, he felt weak, and he was tired. He was rejected, he was misunderstood, he was betrayed, he was abandoned, and he was killed. With his life and death, Jesus became the God who is present with us in our suffering. He became one of us to save us, but also to understand us, to feel our pain, to weep with us, and to be Emmanuel, the God with